In the context of survivalism, the ability to identify and avoid dangers in chaotic situations is a fundamental skill for ensuring safety and survival. Chaos can emerge in various forms: natural disasters like earthquakes or floods, social crises such as riots or economic collapses, or even prolonged isolation in wilderness areas. In these circumstances, usual infrastructure fails, social norms may unravel, and risks multiply. For the survivalist, recognizing potential threats and proactively neutralizing or evading them is as essential as having supplies or shelter. This text explores practical strategies, observation techniques, and preventive measures for dealing with dangers amid chaos, offering a comprehensive guide to protect oneself and others. 1. The nature of chaos and its dangers. Chaos, by definition, is unpredictable. It disrupts established order, making it difficult to rely on systems or routines. In survivalism, understanding the nature of chaos is the first step to identifying its dangers. These risks can be grouped into three main categories. Environmental: these include natural disasters, fires, floods, storms, and harsh conditions like extreme heat or cold. Human: these encompass social threats such as looting, violence, or mass panic, often triggered by scarcity or fear. Logistical: these involve practical failures, such as power outages, contaminated water, or the collapse of transportation routes. Each type of danger requires a specific approach, but they share a common trait: they escalate in unstructured environments. The survivalist must train their mind to detect subtle signs of these threats before they spiral out of control. 2. Developing situational awareness. The foundation for identifying dangers is situational awareness, the ability to observe, interpret, and respond to your surroundings. In chaotic situations, where reliable information may be scarce, this skill becomes indispensable. Constant observation: train yourself to continuously scan your environment. Notice changes in weather, dark clouds, strong winds, human behavior, forming groups, raised voices, or physical cues, smoke, cracks in structures. Engage all senses: the smell of gas, the sound of rushing water, or ground tremors can serve as early warnings. Normal patterns: establish a baseline of what's normal in your environment during calm times. In a city, this might be traffic flow; in a forest, animal sounds. Any significant deviation, sudden silence in the wilderness or shouts in a quiet neighborhood, signals potential danger. Risk zones: identify vulnerable areas in advance. Old buildings may collapse in earthquakes, low streets may flood, and crowds may turn hostile at resource distribution points. Situational awareness isn't innate, it requires practice. Mental simulations, like imagining "what would I do if X happened now," help build this habit. 3. Identifying specific dangers. Each chaotic scenario presents unique threats. Below, we detail how to recognize the most common dangers and the signs that precede them. Environmental dangers. Fires, smoke, rising heat, or crackling sounds indicate nearby fire. In urban areas, downed power lines or the smell of gas heighten the risk. Floods, heavy rain, overflowing rivers, or rapid water buildup in streets are clear signs. Avoid low areas and listen for the sound of currents. Earthquakes, minor tremors or sudden cracks in walls may precede larger events. Restless animals are also natural indicators. Human dangers. Violence or looting, disorganized crowds, shouting, or people rushing with objects suggest riots. Avoid populated areas during scarcity crises. Hostile individuals, aggressive posture, visible weapons, or threatening language are direct signs. In prolonged chaos, hunger or fear can turn even neighbors into risks. Mass panic, uncontrolled stampedes or collective screams indicate panic. Stay out of the path of fleeing crowds. Logistical dangers. Contaminated water, odd smells, murky colors, or floating debris suggest pollution. In urban areas after floods, sewage may mix with drinking water. Power outages, widespread darkness or the silence of electrical devices signal blackouts. This can lead to secondary risks like accidents or opportunistic crimes. Transportation breakdown, roads blocked by debris or abandoned vehicles hinder escape. Pay attention to sounds of stalled traffic or distant sirens. Recognizing these signs allows the survivalist to act before the danger fully manifests. 4. Strategies for avoiding dangers. Knowing how to spot threats is only half the equation. Avoiding them requires planning and deliberate action. Here are the key strategies. Pre-planning. Escape routes. Map out multiple exits from your home, neighborhood, or workplace. Know alternate paths that avoid risk zones, like fragile bridges or densely populated areas. Safe points. Identify refuge locations, a hill for floods, a sturdy building for tornadoes. Have a backup plan if the primary one fails. Stockpiles. Keep basic supplies, water, food, medical kit, in strategic spots to avoid risky outings for resources. Tactical movement. Avoid crowds. During riots, steer clear of gatherings. Use side streets or less visible terrain to move. Low profile. Dress discreetly, no bright colors or visible valuables, to avoid drawing attention from looters or desperate individuals. Timing. Take advantage of lulls, like dawn, when human activity dips, to move or gather resources. Terrain use. High ground. Position yourself in elevated spots to observe dangers, smoke, crowds, from a distance without exposure. Natural barriers, rivers, mountains, or dense forests can deter pursuers or block fire spread. Camouflage. In wild or hostile urban areas, blend into the environment with neutral clothing or improvised shelter. 5. Supporting tools and equipment. Survivalists can rely on tools to identify and avoid dangers. Binoculars allow observation of distant threats, like group movements or smoke signals. Flashlight, essential in blackouts to avoid obstacles or spot nighttime hazards. Map and compass, ensure navigation when usual routes are compromised or GPS fails. Survival kit, include items like masks, for smoke or dust, ropes, for rescues, and whistles, to signal without exposure. These items should be lightweight and portable, integrated into an evacuation backpack, bug-out bag. 6. Training and mindset. No strategy works without mental preparation and practice. Simulations. Train for scenarios like evacuating a burning house or escaping a crowd. Time yourself to build reflexes. Local knowledge. Study your surroundings, seasonal rivers, landslide-prone areas, community meeting points. Emotional control. Panic amplifies danger. Practice slow breathing and prioritize safety, shelter, water, to stay calm. The survivalist's mindset is proactive. Anticipate the worst but act with precision, avoiding paralysis by fear. 7. Handling unavoidable dangers. Not all risks can be dodged. When confrontation is inevitable, the focus shifts to mitigation. Fires. Cover your face with a wet cloth and crawl to avoid smoke. Seek low exits or open areas. Human conflicts. Be diplomatic but firm. Avoid direct confrontations. De-escalate with words or flee if possible. Structural collapses. Take cover under sturdy furniture or in life triangles, spaces beside solid objects, during earthquakes. The goal is to minimize harm while preserving the ability to move forward. 8. Practical examples. Urban flood. You notice water rising fast in the streets. Using a map, you avoid low areas and head to a tall building, keeping supplies dry in a sealed pack. Post-disaster riot. Hearing shouts and seeing crowds, you take a discreet side route, wearing neutral clothing to blend in. Wildfire. Spotting smoke with binoculars, you move upwind to a clearing, using a stream as a natural barrier. These examples show how observation and action together neutralize dangers. Conclusion. In survivalism, identifying and avoiding dangers in chaotic situations is an art blending sharp perception, meticulous planning, and calm execution. In a world where order can crumble instantly, the prepared survivalist not only spots threat signals, environmental, human, or logistical, but also knows how to sidestep them with practical strategies and proper tools. Situational awareness, smart terrain use, and consistent training turn chaos from an enemy into a manageable challenge. Beyond surviving, the aim is to thrive despite adversity. By mastering these skills, the survivalist not only safeguards themselves and their group but also maintains hope and the capacity to rebuild, even in the harshest conditions. In chaotic situations, survival isn't luck, it's preparation. And remember, always be prepared.